This is ABL Sports again here. This is Dev.
And Finn,
Okay, guys, so today we're going to be covering the NBA's standings and playoff race. So we got at time of recording, it's March 26th, around like 8 p.m. Central. So we got some games going on currently. Um, but we're going to go ahead and start. I'm sorry, there's about 9 or 10 games left to play in the season before we get to the playoffs. So we're going to go ahead and look at the standings, I guess. I'm going to start with the Eastern Conference. So we got the Pistons at the 1 seed, the Celtics at the 2, the Knicks at the 3. The Cavs at the 4, the Hawks at the 5, the Raptors at the 6, the 76ers at the 7, the Heat at the 8, the Hornets at the 9, Magic at the 10. And between the 5 and the 10 seed, like it's the Magic at 10 are only 3 games behind the Hawks at 5. So between the Magic and the Hawks, like anything can happen. While I don't think like the Hawks are gonna drop down to like a play-in position, um, like really anything can happen. I think like that's the point we kind of want to make, right?
yeah. So if you look at I mean, this it'll probably change by the time we do this video. But Pistons, I think, are probably they're still 10 games, but gonna run away with the 1 seed. They've been playing really well without Cade. Celtics and Knicks have the same record, so who knows where that will go. Cavs at 4 have kind of solidified. They're like 3 games behind the 3 seed, but also like 3 or 4 games above the 5. So
Hmm.
there's kind of like the 1 through 4 might fluctuate a bit, but we know it's going to be those 4 teams. Hawks, on the other hand, or I guess I should say, the 5 through the 10 seed, there are only 3 games separating those seeds. So the Hawks have 41 wins and the Magic have 38. So really anything could happen. And the East is just wild this year. It's really unpredictable, but I think there's a few teams we want to mention. So first, we can start off with the Hawks. The Hawks are 14-1 in their last 15
Hmm.
games. Now that might change to like 14-3 by the time, or 15-2 by the time this video goes out. But still, they're one of the hottest teams in the NBA. So
Can I
maybe I
pause you
should
real
take
quick?
back what I said earlier. Yeah,
I actually think with the I just looked at the upcoming schedules for both the Celtics and the Pistons. I actually think the Celtics might overtake the Pistons in these next 10 games to the one spot. Because only what are they? Four
yeah,
games
like
behind?
four
Two
games.
games? Four
Yeah,
games? Ooh, I only thought there were 2 games. Maybe not. But
it's possible though.
I think it's possible though. I think that like the Pistons have to play uh in the West twice, and they have to play. Well, who are they playing twice? They're playing the Timberwolves twice and the Thunder within the next 5 games. They're playing the Raptors, the Hornets, the Pacers, Bucks. They'll win. Pacers, they'll win. Hornets, Magic, I think could give us some trouble. Even the 76ers, because they're all vying for better seeding within the same division, right? Or I'm sorry, the
Yeah,
same conference. But I think the games against the Thunder and the both against the Timberwolves they lose, which could really affect Celtic seeding.
yeah, it's true. Here's the thing. Even the Knicks could theoretically go ahead. Like if the
That's true.
Pistons, if K
Yeah.
doesn't come back for the rest of the season, then let's say even if they win 4 games, they'll have 56 wins. And if the Celtics or the Knicks just win out or win like 8 out of their 10 games, then they can become
The one
the one
seed.
seed. I don't really think that's likely. That would take a lot, and the Pistons are playing well, but it's still possible.
Hmm.
So I think those kind of top 3 teams are definitely solidified. But what I kind of want to look at is kind of the maybe like 6 to 10 range as well,
Hmm.
because if you look at the 76ers, like this is, I mean, it's the same old story, like plagued by injuries and whatever. But like Paul George suspension, that was super random. But yesterday at the time of this video, Embiid and Paul George came back, and
Hmm.
they actually were healthy. And Embiid scored 35 points, Paul George at 30, VJ at 20. And the Sixers scored 156 points, which is the most they've scored in like 40 years. So they're looking good, and they're still the 7 seed, and they have almost the same record as the Raptors. I think there's like a half a game separating them, and then they're 1 game behind the Hawks. So the Hawks, I think, have the tiebreaker over the Sixers, but those are the 3 teams that I'm looking at, and then maybe the Hornets to kind of contend for that 5 and 6 seed.
Hmm.
Granted, one of those teams will have to be a play-in, but again, like I was saying, like Hawks 14-1 in their last 15. So there's just a lot of really hot teams here, and I think um, maybe just playing into a bigger picture conversation, like people have been talking about for a while how boring the regular season is for the NBA. But like, if you're a fan of any of these teams to the 5 or 10 seed, or you just really enjoy watching good basketball, like
It's
these are
exciting.
all really quality.
And these
It's so
games
exciting.
matter.
These are quality teams.
These games in March and April, like I know in the past have been, not that, like you said, they're not exciting to watch because like they kind of don't matter. These games, these past few seasons, especially these late game, like in March, April, games have mattered a lot. Like these. there's been a lot of parity within the standings these past couple seasons, and the seedings have been very tight. I know the Thunder kind of had a runaway like season last year, but besides them, everyone else was like really fighting for like a position. So, and the same thing is happening this year, which I really want to like commend Adam Silver. Maybe it's not him directly like
Yeah.
doing that, but like the NBA, especially just as a basketball fan, has been insane product this year.
Yeah. Well, not to plug another ABL video, but Austin and I talked exactly about this in our video about Adam Silver, where Austin and I disagreed on a lot, but I think the one thing that actually no, I don't even think we agreed on this. But what I was saying was I've enjoyed how much parity there is in the NBA. I
Hmm.
think it's great. There's no dynasties, which like the 6 through 10 seeds aren't dynasties, but like I think once again, like in that bigger picture conversation, like
Hmm.
this is a good thing for the NBA, and in a season where ratings are already up, basketball has been more competitive. It's
Hmm.
good to see that even in April, or it's March 27 today, but like going into April, this will still be really competitive. And that's an important thing for the NBA, which also like if you think about that, therefore the playing games will be really competitive as well. And they
Hmm.
will be like,
Must see TV.
oh, this is a big claim. It's must see TV. This is a big claim I'm gonna give, but maybe some of the best games of the playoffs, some of the most competitive games. Like imagine you have a Sixers versus Heat series where you have Bam Adebayo who just set the second
83
most,
point record.
83 point record, second most points ever. And then you have Embiid, who hopefully is like, I mean,
Former
it's always an
MVP.
if with him, but former MVP, like really, like he's been good this year. He's his per 36 minutes, he's got like 30 and 10. So like a really dominant matchup at center, and just two
Mhm.
teams that are well rounded and have good coaching. So really good game. And then Hornets Magic, like, ooh, maybe LaMelo, maybe it's his year, maybe he finally makes the playoffs. And the Magic, who were kind of the 60 for a while, just get knocked out of the playoffs. Like so many interesting storylines will come from this
Yeah.
April. And again, as a basketball fan, like super exciting to watch.
Mhm.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a season with this much parity. I mean, even like not to segue too much, but even in the West, if you look at it right now, like
Yeah.
between the Thunder and the Spurs, 2 game difference, 10 games left. Who's going to take it? The
Yeah.
Lakers through the Rockets. So or not? Yeah, yeah. So that 3 seed through the
The
six
six
seed,
seed,
only only
like
3 or 4 games
4 games.
separating them.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you really don't know what the
What's gonna
matchups are going to
happen?
be this playoffs.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
And it's really exciting to see. Kind of circling back to the Hornets a little bit, like in the offseason, like and even up to like the trade deadline, they were looking to move LaMelo. And now look
yeah.
at like their whole trajectory as a franchise has changed like since like January.
It
Like
was because of that car crash. He just turned into Superman.
I was something something happened, bro. But
Yeah,
I like Con Knipple was he averaging like 18, damn near 20 on like a 50, 40,
he's he's
90.
the he's ahead in the Rookie of the Year ladder right now. Like he's
Mhm.
over Cooper Flag. Whoever could have seen that coming?
And I just want to touch on Ace Bailey real quick too. I think Ace Bailey deserves his flowers too. What do you like? I mean, the Jazz aren't like maybe the best team. They're not really like fighting for anything right now. But Ace Bailey, like what he dropped 37 last night, and when this is kind of like to get into like a little bit of the tanking like issue, but like when teams tank, they give rookies an opportunity to shine. Like Ace Bailey did not have like a good start this season, but
Yeah,
since they've kind of not been playing it for anything, he's been getting a lot of minutes and really been able to develop and turn into a player like with a lot of confidence. Not, which like he was already good on the defensive side of the ball, but he's been really able to bring like the offensive game that he had, like offensive dominance that he had in college, like to the NBA, and like we saw that last night. Um,
yeah, and even to your point with the Hornets and Colin Knuppel, like again another player where it's like if he was on the Lakers, like he would be very good still, but it wouldn't be like as big of a plot point because you got these other stars, and
exactly,
not just the Lakers. I mean Celtics, Knicks,
like a lot of
Spurs,
different,
whatever.
yeah, a lot of
Like,
teams.
but on the Hornets, like now he's there. He's like they're probably their second best player behind Lamelo, who even like there's so many interesting storylines with these like smaller teams, and I think like if you can get these smaller teams to have really interesting stories and kind of like fun players that people want to watch.
People will
Um,
care and people will tune in, even if it's a smaller market
eh,
team. Like,
exactly, and that's kind of another. Well, now we're just talking a lot about Adam Silver, but another byproduct of this Adam Silver kind of regime, for lack of a better word. Like there's so many small market teams that are fun to watch, and again, just a great thing for basketball. But yeah, I think I kind of deviated a bit, but essentially the East is really competitive, and I think if you're an NBA fan, you kind of want to watch these next 10 games. Like
oh yeah,
you're pulled in.
absolutely. Um, Do you let's move on to the do we have any like any more thoughts of the
I
West,
mean,
or do you want to like kind of wrap up here?
yeah, I mean, I'm fine to wrap up here. I guess I have a few small thoughts about the West. Like, I don't think that much is. It's not as interesting as the East to me, but it's still worth talking about.
Yeah.
The Spurs to be the one seed, that's pretty interesting. But no matter where they are, they'll probably make a they'll make a good run. And
Hmm.
I think the same could be said for the 3 through the 6 seed. Like, no matter what kind of changes there, I still think these are
They're all contenders.
they're all contenders. Yeah. So
Some more than others,
yeah,
but
I guess
some
I'm
more than others, but they're all contenders, like in their own right.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole separate video about like who's contending, who isn't. But I think like you could definitely say like Thunder, Spurs, Lakers. I don't know. Those are my top three, and then like I don't see the Nuggets doing much. I don't see the Timberwolves doing much. Rockets don't have their shit together. Excuse my French. So you kind of have to like
What's interesting to me
I don't know.
is if the Thun like if the Lakers end up like being the third seed and they end up matching up like with the Timberwolves, I think that could get really interesting, especially because of how last year's playoffs went. I know the Timberwolves aren't the
Yeah,
same like team as last year, but like in a playoff environment, who knows?
I will if
But
if Ant
but
is
the
on in a
Lakers,
playoff
but
game, I will watch.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. But I think yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think this is a good spot to wrap up.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens within the next 10 games, and we're gonna keep y'all updated. Um, any other like breaking news that we're gonna cover soon? We'll get a video out on the expansion coming soon with Seattle and Vegas.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be a good one. But anything else you guys want to see? Anything you guys disagree with, agree with? Don't like. If you guys want to make fun of us, go ahead and comment it down. But besides that, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
See you guys.